the Department of Safety functioned as not only a home for some creatives, but it was just such an easy venue to play at, and it had a built-in community to it. That there was turnover there, but I think we just have never really replaced it.
Young college graduates were looking for something to do, and they wanted to do it together because they were such good friends. They loved music and art, and they happened to be passing through Anacortes to see a music show, and they saw the For Lease sign on the old police and fire station on 12th Street near Commercial. And they just started dreaming up this plan to do a combination music venue, art gallery, and youth hostel where people could come and stay, and they might see shows. They developed an artist in residency program where people would come and stay there and develop an art show specifically for the gallery. They had incredible bands coming through from the start, and it just became something where people from all over the area came, and the local young people and all ages really were just lucky to have this gift from these four people.
I moved here from Arkansas because I thought the Department of Safety had a recording studio, and then there really wasn't much of a recording studio there. The space open, and I was like, this is perfect. I would love to do a studio here. And then I didn't know what it was going to be like. When it was empty, it was just like so echoey and just like, I was like, this might not work. But then as we started putting stuff in here, it sounded better and better. And it worked out.
I think when you record it at a studio and you know that there's a long history of records that have been made there, and even if you're kind of familiar with the records, it adds to the magic just a little bit. Local resources have helped me immensely. Even when I was in early high school, they helped me. The Department of Safety is where I played all of my first shows. I've recorded records at the DOS. I saw lots of bands there that inspired me and influenced me. So the Department of Safety played a huge role in my life as a creative, and a lot of my friends and a lot of my peers. The business has played a massive role. I mean, that's where I first started buying records and CDs. That's where I met Bret Lunsford and found out about our local scene a little bit more, and saw some bands play at the old location when there was the little courtyard there. And the business now, it's run by two of my good friends, and I'm actually in a band with Nick, who owns the business with Evie, and they do my distribution. So they ship out my records and people buy them. So I mean, the business is a huge asset to me.
So the business is a long-standing cultural beacon for the town. It's been open since 1978, and over the years it's been several different things. But I think in each iteration it's always been a place where people could go, find new things, maybe find, and now that we're a record store primarily, they can find artists that they've never heard of, explore little parts of the world here from this small town. obviously there's been local music happening here for a long time. Most of the history that I'm aware of, and that revolves around the store in specific, starts in the 90s when Bret Lunsford, who was in the band Beat Happening, who was working at the business, started to bring records home from tour and sell them here in town. And then eventually when he bought the business, he had several local musicians working for him. There was a recording studio in the back, and eventually a cafe, which became Cafe Adrift. There's all of these little ties that kind of come together. But eventually, when those endeavors took on a life of their own, like the recording studio, which I think is now the unknown, it's become this ecosystem where you can record music here, have this support network, and the store to sell your music without, you can learn about all parts of the process without having to search too far.
The Department of Safety acted as like this place for bands to come. It was like, a friend of mine would always describe it as like this airport for Anacortes, like the Anacortes airport where like bands could come and just like come and like play a show, hang out, experience Anacortes. We don't have that as much anymore. Like bands come here, but just like one band at a time, and they stay here for a longer period of time. It's a lot different. And we just don't have that like all ages space anymore. I feel like that provided so much for younger people, and we were just bringing in cool bands that normally wouldn't play in small towns, for one thing, but especially in Anacortes. Yeah.
It was a really special place.
Yeah.
So I would say, I don't know if we'll ever find anything quite like it again. It's connected to the cost of living in Anacortes. You know, you think about how it was a cheap place for artists and creatives to live, and that just doesn't exist anymore. So I think when the Department of Safety closed, that was a good, tangible example of us losing a very accommodating and special place for creatives to live and build community.
Well, there's something really special when bands from out of town, when it's worthwhile for them to come to Anacortes and perform shows. And if they have a local opening act, that's a great way for local bands to get to an understanding of what it is to be in a touring band. And so it made Anacortes a part of a national network for musicians and artists.
I can stay another day from what they know. Slow me down, love. Slow me down. Slow me down, love. Slow me down. Living on the seaside, trying to keep warm in this remote village, away from the norm. Next to the shoreline, tangles in our hair. They were slightly salted, but we don't care. And we're slightly